first down and 10. They go to Potts, and there's Potts, 45-50. Potts going to run away from people. He's at the 20, the 15. Touchdown, Potts. Convoy back here, back to pass, looking for Shea. Shea's got his man beat on the dead run. Touchdown.
Driving to get that first down.
That's Green off that left side, big hole, 20-15 and down to the 13-yard line. Gun Shamori. He's got Guthrie next to him. Double wides each side. Rolling out. Shamori. Throwing down in the corner. The catch is made by Sanford.
Third and long. Play action. Going to throw across the middle.
He's intercepted by Hunter Webb. Hunter Webb drifted. He's going to run up to 10, and he leaps forward.
Well, welcome to STA Stadium. I'm Gary Crispin along with Jim Webb, WebbWeeklyLive.com, and Touchdowns and Tailgates brought to you by Fairfield Auto Group and Alvarado Construction. Today, here at STA, gorgeous day for football. Too bad we're not playing right now. It was chilly the other night, Jim. But what about the local teams? Everybody won the other night. It was amazing.
Most amazing night in high school football, probably in the history of Lycoming County, and a lot quieter than the last time you and I were here, huh?
I would say it was a good crowd the other night. Chilly night. The Millionaires were the team that was red hot as they won that big ball game. And, of course, winning it going away 55-21 over the team that had beaten them, Delaware Valley, a really good football team. Millionaires showed what they're made of, coming together at the right time. They win the District 2 title, 6A, and now they get ready to play number 4 in the state college. One loss to number 3 Central Dauphin, a team they used to play, the Little Lions, and they're a red-hot team, very solid, nothing fancy, but big up front, very good defensively.
Absolutely, and State College always has a quality football program, and this year's no different. And but let me tell you something. The last team I'd want to be preparing for right now is our own Williamsport Millionaires. And if your State College's defensive coordinator, there's going to be some sleepless nights now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
A little while ago, Jim, I talked to Matt Lintel today, their coach, and they had a chance to scrimmage the Millionaires back in late August. And I'll tell you, he was really impressed. The guy that impressed him was number 3, Trayson Potts. And, of course, he knows that certainly up on the hill, James Franklin and company are looking at him closely. He knows they have a high, potent offense. They've got to slow down. The difference in the schedule is they play such a tough schedule down there. Their signature win is against Cumberland Valley, a team they beat 2 times in a row. Only loss is to third-ranked Central Dauphin, 13-10. That was 2 weeks ago. Millionaires have their biggest, toughest test coming up in Selinsgrove this coming Friday night. Jim, the great thing about it, we're going to bite the bullet again. We're going live on WebbWeeklyLive.com at 6:50. Thanks to all the sponsors putting it together. We've got to follow through live this coming week from Selinsgrove.
Going to be a big ball game down in Selinsgrove, and I'm glad that you and I are doing this together, and along with PA Sports Live. I'm going to bring the Millionaires not only back to the area to watch, but across the country to all the servicemen and women, any relatives. It's a great thing, this live stream.
No question. And we've had people watch. I want to thank Derek Rizza for going down to Selinsgrove yesterday and doing the check to make sure everything was working right. And well, I tell you what, we had a 5-star check at Selinsgrove yesterday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've done games there over the years, but the Millionaires playing State College. That's the first game. A lot of other games. There's going to be a game here on Saturday.
Yeah, an amazing Friday night for the 5 area high school teams, all won. Who would have thunk it? And the reclassification, we talked about it before, has helped our area so tremendously in spreading teams out. But right here we got our Jersey Shore Bulldogs, 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. They play Johnstown. I'd be lying. I don't know anything about Johnstown, but what I do know, Jersey Shore's playing their best football of the year.
Absolutely. You know, they not only did they win, they won going away over. Logan Libby is the top-ranked quarterback in Pennsylvania in passing yards. They shut him down, and they won that game the other day. Elijah Shamori is coming on. He's only a junior. He's ranked number 15 in the state passing. And Shamori and company and that great defense.
The Bulldog defense.
I think they could make a run.
At the beginning of the year, and I know Coach Alex Jackson, their defensive coordinator, does a tremendous job, was born to be a defensive coordinator. And I thought, man, they're just going to keep getting better. When they had Shimori chucking around like they were and the kids receiving, I thought they're going to be darn good by the end of the year. Little did I know, I would have never guessed a 31-6 smackdown of the Seals.
Yeah. Unbelievable score there. The Montoursville Warriors, and I had a feeling J.C. Kiefer and that coaching staff so good. They recovered from the tough loss to their arch rival Loyal Sock Lancers, came back, beat up for the second time this year Danville 28-10. Bryson Messina, by the way, ranked 5th in the state in passing over 2,500 yards, breaking all the District 4 records. And I'm telling you, this is a guy that's just putting it together.
And again, Gary, I got to tip my hat. You called it. I thought Montoursville would have a little trouble with the Ironmen, and they did not. They did exactly what you said they did, and that was our 3A district championship as the Montoursville Warriors. They open up with Scranton Prep over at Wyoming Valley West. That's also Friday night.
Yep.
I think that's a good matchup for the Warriors, and I think the Montoursville can go over there and win in advance. I really do.
I have so much confidence in J.C. Kiefer and his staff. They're a gutsy ball club.
Absolutely.
They come and they run the ball. You know, they're starting to get that running game. They don't have Matkowski.
Nolan Ott's been tremendous
and
lately.
The other night, it was Torrin Lewis's turn, who had 115 yards rushing between Ott and Lewis, the balance of the run, making sure that they're going to try to get the running game going, and then you've got great receivers, and of course Rothrock caught a big touchdown. You've got Conboy, but Tom Shea, third in the state, 1,200 plus yards, receiving yards. He's ranked 3rd right now. He's got close to 60 catches.
Tommy Shea's a fantastic receiver, catches the ball with his hands, does all the things right, and I think they've thrown to him more than we threw the ball when I was in high school my whole career.
That's right.
But and a great chemistry with him and Messina. Mr. Rothrock is the wild card, though.
Yeah.
He plays that position sort of like a Gronkowski, where he can come off the tight end, he can come out of the slot, and he gives teams matchup problems. So.
No question. He's got good speed. He's got good size. He plays tough on both sides of the ball, but Rothrock is a key. And when you take a look at the number of catches he's had and then the number of touchdowns, he gets into the end zone. Practically half of his catches are touchdowns, and he did it the other night.
He likes that end zone, doesn't he, Gary?
I think he does for number 47.
I wish we could do all these games and bring them back live stream. But there's a thing called dollars, and the district, now we're into the state level. They sure do want a lot of dollars to do these games. But
sure do.
I would love to be bringing Montoursville and Scranton Prep back, but we just can't do all of them. That gets us down, Gary, to the AA. Now, here's the interesting thing. We have so many AA teams, and it's definitely spread it out here. Is we have South Williamsport going to Southern Columbia, and it's a district championship game and a first-round state tournament game.
Absolutely, yeah. They had to play the 3 games. You know what Southern can do. Jim Roth's team, a young team, and they just load them up. They're really good. And this is a South team banged up a bit. But what an exciting ending is Flick, the quarterback.
AJ Flick.
AJ, the young freshman, fakes the handoff to Gideon Green with 3 seconds to go. And I'm not sure if he just decided the last minute not to give it to Green. Green had been hurt, and he puts it on the hip, bootlegs in. They win with 3 seconds. The first loss of the year by the Hornets in that ball game at Wellsboro. South wins it. Here they are playing Southern. Goriski has been banged up. Gideon Green. I talked a little bit via text with Chris Eisworth yesterday, and I said, how are your guys? He said, we'll know in a couple of days. We wish them the best. They need to be 100% going in there. Hats off to Southside. What a tremendous season for South going in. They're ranked in the top 10 of the state of Pennsylvania in AA. And, of course, you've got to talk about what's going on with the Muncy Indians. They go up and win a title, and they've got to play Steel High of all teams down the road at Susquehanna Township.
And that's one I picked. Did I not with you?
Yeah, you did.
And I saw Muncy. I think they still had to play Hughesville, and I just had a good feeling about them. I went down in the energy and the effort I saw at practice and Coach T. They get Steelton High Spire.
Yeah, that's
First
tough.
of all, tip of the cap to the Muncy Indians for a terrific run in a district crown. They went up to Sayre, and they handled Sayre. But now their reward in this first round of states is Steelton High Spire.
One of the great programs in Pennsylvania, and a team that was a long-time rival many, many years ago, the Williamsport Millionaires in football. They always had a smaller population. They always played big, played up. Steel High and Muncy, an improbable matchup, years ago when you looked at it, but they're in the same classification. Good luck to Sean Tetro's team as they have to travel to the Harrisburg area for that game.
Susquehanna Township.
Yep, that's right.
Which is a nice facility,
Yeah,
so it'll be a nice trip for the Indians. And we wish them the best. I hope they can continue running on, but that's a tough. That's one you and I wouldn't want if we were coaching.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but they're now 6-6, and that's where we are. I think we've covered the games, Jim. I know we're going to get back here. We're going to talk to some of the coaches. Chuck Cruz is coming in. We're going to talk to Chuck and some of the Millionaires after a team that has brought the magic back to STA Stadium. They're 11-1. They're wild numbers, big-time numbers in total offense, averaging 50 points a game. They play very tough State College. We've got more on it coming up. We come right back. This is Touchdowns and Tailgates on WebWeeklyLive.com. You've known the name for more than 50 years. Alvarado Construction, offering extensive design and build services all over Pennsylvania. John Alvarado, now you're doing even more residential.
We've partnered with Scholl's Design, a residential architectural firm, offering designs out of their catalog. Also have the ability to do a custom design in-house for a client.
And a remodel, like the Kiss FM home makeover, a huge success.
That was a great project. Gave them a new kitchen in about 3 days.
Alvarado Construction for residential and commercial builds. You know, it was fun the other night. Two guys who played such a role for the Millionaires in last Friday night's game, but all season long, Dante Wright and Cam Dickey. Both sides of the ball playing big guys. First of all, congratulations. How's it feel? First of all, Dante, you're a senior. You were there 2 years ago. You were 2-8.
Yeah.
Millionaires had struggled when you were a freshman all those years. And your dad told me this was a really special team when you guys were in ninth grade. He said, I'm telling you, these guys are coming up. They're really good, and it all came together.
Mm-hmm. Well, ever since Pop Warner, we were told that the 2K17 class was the team to watch out for. And so being in ninth grade, we always dreamed of being, one of the best teams in the state, being the district champions, and we're finally here. So
you guys were putting up numbers when you were in Pop Warner.
Yeah.
so the promise was there, and now it's come together. What do you think the difference has been this year? Putting things together. It started last year. Coach Cruz comes in. You get a new coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a big key.
Yeah. We got used to Coach Cruz's teaching, and we just, like you said, put stuff together. And offense is dominant, one of the best in the state. In defense, we switched things up, like putting Kurt and Ross in the middle, stopping that run. You got Cam out here flying around getting sacks like you were just talking about.
Cam Dickey had one of the best defensive games I've seen in recent memory. I wanted Ben Reichley to catch you at the end to get you on as our defensive star of the game. You were definitely that. You had a huge, crucial sack tail end of the game. Nearly got him for a safety. 2 fumble recoveries, a bunch of tackles. Now, what you wrestle at what weight? What do you wrestle at?
132.
132. What are you bulked up to now?
About 155.
155. I'm telling you, not a big guy, but you play big. I remember doing your dad's games back in the 80s. He was one of those top running backs that if I listed the top guys, I remember Drew Dickey was one of those players, and I think he got the right genes coming up through.
I say so.
Defensively, do you like playing defense or offense better? Because you're a good pass receiver too.
I love defense. It's probably my favorite.
Well, you like hitting guys. You're a wrestler.
Yeah.
So defensively, you are now playing linebacker. You're in a position where you're able to be all over the field. Tell me about your role now in the defense, working your way into the starting unit and being a key as you were the other night.
Well, my man-to-man coverage is not the best, so they try to get me in the box as much as I can, stop the run, and get as many tackles as I can.
You guys calling up a lot of blitzes. You're calling up some plays where all of a sudden you said, okay, Cam, this is your time. You're going after that guy. You're coming off the edge. We're setting it up for you. You got to get excited when you hear that coming.
Yeah. Most of our plays Friday night were like that, where I'm just on the line going like hell.
And of course you're gambling. You're to a point where Williamsport's defense being that much more aggressive, not sitting back but taking it to the offense. I think that's a key the second half of the year.
Yeah, I'd say so. We're getting more penetration like that, and we can stop the run easier.
And you get Ross Stebbins up front. You got Daniker plugging those holes. That has been a big change in the way you guys are playing.
Yeah, definitely. We can slows the offensive down a little bit. Gives them some time for the secondary to come in and make tackles.
Absolutely. Let's talk to Dante. Dante, you're one of the fastest guys in the team. Mm-hmm. You love to have that bomb called where you can beat your guy down the field. You've caught at least 7, maybe 8 touchdown catches this year, putting up big numbers and yards per catch, over 20 yards per catch. Let's talk about playing with a guy like Isaiah Hankins. You've known him a long time. It seems he knows you and where you're going to be.
Well, I was his main receiver 9th grade year, so we have a lot of chemistry right there. So, I mean, like you said, I'm a deep threat, so he knows when I'm going to be open and when I'm not going to be. He places the ball well. I just run under and catch it. I have the easy job.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to get it there. But, of course, if he's doing some scrambling out of there, which he does, that gives you a chance to come back for the ball or move into position and make a catch. And you kind of know where he's going to be or where he wants you to be.
Yeah. Well, we run through drills on how to, if he rolls out, if he's scrambling, where to go. So I got to give props to my coaches on that. They teach me how to do that. But, yeah, like I said, Isaiah and I just have a lot of chemistry, and we know what we're doing in the field.
Well, when you guys are starting to come together now as a team, all the weapons, has Williamsport hit on all cylinders yet? The other night, it seemed like you did 2 weeks ago against Wyoming area in the first half. That was a show like I've never seen up here on the hill ever. But have you hit on all cylinders yet, or do you think this is a team capable of playing better?
I still think we're capable of playing better. I mean, we've put 60 on teams, but I think we could honestly get into 80 points per game. But obviously our coaches won't let it happen. But I think sometimes we have flaws in offense.
What are the flaws?
Just missed blocks. Our O-line sometimes messes up. Not only the O-line, receivers as well. So that kind of messes up the offense.
Now, Cam, this week you've got a state college team ranked 4th in the state of Pennsylvania. They have one loss to 3rd-rated Central Dauphin. You had a chance to scrimmage against those guys. Does that make you feel a little bit better going in with the idea you know intimidation factor? You know you can play with those guys. How did that scrimmage match up? How'd you feel?
I think we'll do pretty good against them. We did pretty good in the scrimmage. It was one of our first times of the year going out and scrimmaging someone. I think I'm looking forward to it.
What does this team need to improve in your eyes if you're going to make the run you think you can make and get past state college, Cam?
We still need more penetration on our defensive line and linebackers. We need to stop the run, definitely.
Stopping the run's going to be a key. This is a team that has a lot of balance. Dante, key for the Millionaires to make this run. You don't want this to be the final game of your senior year.
No, I don't. Like he said, I think we need to work on our defense a little bit more. State College has a lot of athletes. I know some of the athletes personally. So I think if we just stop their offense, our offense is one of the best in the state. So I think they're going to have trouble stopping our offense. So.
And probably getting the ball to number 12 a little bit more.
Yeah.
Guys,
nice.
Number 25, number 12, guys, we're really proud of you guys. That was a great performance. District champs, had to feel so good. Let's keep it going. The magic is back on the hill.
Right.
Cam Dickey, Dante Wright, Williamsport Millionaires, an exciting year. One of the most exciting I can ever remember. We come right back. We're going to talk to head coach Chuck Cruz about the big game on Friday night. Chuck Cruz, it was sure fun the other night. My favorite picture is the picture of you lying out there on the carpet in front of your guys, holding up that District 2 Championship 6A plaque. I think that says it all.
Yeah, that was a good time. It was uncharted water for myself and for the rest of the team, and we just soaked it all up. Not to mention that those sons of guns, they soaked me. I wasn't expecting that. You
got a little wet, didn't you?
Yeah, a tad bit.
Now, was that guy? I missed it because we were still doing the game. Was that Gatorade or was it just ice water or what?
Whatever it was cold.
I'm sure it was.
Hopefully it was water because water's cheaper.
I remember they did that to the late George Allen of the Redskins, and I think he got pneumonia and passed away after that, but he was about 80 at the time.
Well, there you go. Well,
that's your first of many Gatorade bats, I think.
There you go. From your mouth to God's ears.
That's right. Chuck, you just talking off the air a moment ago, we talked about this club. They had scrimmaged State College earlier, and I said, well, they did well against State College in the scrimmage, had to give the team confidence. You said, hey, they already had confidence. These guys knew they were good and could be good, and then behind your coaching and everything last year, these guys started learning to win, and now they really know how to win.
Well, they trust each other. They trust themselves as individuals, and they trust each other as a team. And that's what we're seeing out here. At no point, even at times when we were behind, there was no panic, no finger pointing. There's no complaining. They're just working their behinds off together. And it's a good time to be around Millionaire football right now.
Absolutely. This is a team that you're right. In past years, teams used to hang their head. They were in a ball game. Next thing you know, blink of an eye, they quit and lose a game. Maybe they could have won. Now this team has continued to be on a mission. And, of course, now they're going to take on a really good Little Lion State College team coming in. Have only lost one. They're number 4 in the state to third-rated Central Dauphin 13-10. And now you get a chance to face up again this week coming off that game, putting that game behind you, facing up against a team that's got a lot of college prospects, very big up front, great balance, no stars, just a lot of balance. Let's talk about your game plan coming in.
Well, luckily we get a chance to play the game because, like you point out, on paper we're no match for them. But we do have to play the game. I like the effort that we're putting together defensively. Offensively, we're just sticking to the game plan, and Coach Brown and Coach Steele and the rest of the coaches, they're doing what they have to do. And I've never been to Selinsgrove, so hopefully Selinsgrove is good for me. STA Stadium has been, so maybe I'll get the chance to know what it feels like to be a Seal in Selinsgrove.
Yeah, that's a nice turf field. One thing I notice about the defense that has continued to play better and better, you see a young guy, not a big guy, but Cam Dickey, who plays so much bigger, having a game like he played the other night. You're defensively taking it to the offense. You're aggressive. You're gambling. You're going after people, keeping that team uncomfortable, keeping a quarterback the caliber of their guy, Cavallero, the other night, really uncomfortable. That was the key to the game.
Yeah, I still don't think Cavallero slept well last night. This weekend.
Imagine.
He sees 25s every time he closes his eyes. God bless his soul. It's not much you can say bad about Cam Dickey. He is smart enough yet dumb enough to do exactly what you ask him to do and what you need him to do. He's not flashy. Doesn't stand out in the crowd. But I'll tell you what, if you got to dig a foxhole, I want 2-5 in my foxhole.
Yeah, I would say. Offensively, then you take a look at the weapons. 50 points a game. We've talked the greatest show on turf it has been. And a football team, 520 yards a game or whatever it turns out to be in total offense.
Give or take a yard, right?
That's right. Big-time numbers that you're putting up on these teams. And again, it gives you all the weapons and the different things you can do. I'm sure there's got to be a few tricks up your sleeve for this game, knowing that there's some things we can do to open up the run, but also keep that passing game going too.
Well, we just want to stay the course. And truly, we have to play the game and see what it is that State College is going to give us. What are they going to attempt to take away, and what can we take advantage of? And hopefully the trend will continue where there's yet to be a team that can take away everything. So hopefully State College cannot take away everything, and whatever that stingy defense is willing to give, we'll be more than happy to accept.
Key to the game. What do you need to do to win this thing against a really good football team, and probably your toughest test?
We can't let them control the tempo of the game. I think that if they want to, it seems like they're content to ground and pound and grind it out and wear you down and then pop a play action pass, and get up. So we have to make sure that we don't allow them to establish total control of the game. We got to jab with them and spar with them and pick our spots as they try and pick theirs as well. So it should be a very, very, very good game.
We're going to be there. It's going to be fun. We'll be there live, and it has been a fun run, Chuck. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Listen, I must admit, though, I'm a little upset to not be here at SCA Stadium and on the magic carpet. This place has been good to us.
No question.
So, like I said, hopefully Selinsgrove will be as amenable to us.
They've got a nice stadium and a fast track, and I think anytime you get the Millionaires in a fast track with the speed you have, it should be lights out and fun. Chuck, good luck. Let's get one more.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more. Jim Webb is going to be talking more to some of the other big coaches and big games around the area. WebWeeklyLive.com. Touchdowns and tailgates. We'll have more. We come right back.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships, has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values and unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield, for fair deals. You're gonna love us.
Hello, I'm up here in Jersey Shore, outside of the Jersey Shore Middle School, and obviously school just got out. I'm with Bulldog head coach Tom Gravish. Congrats, Coach.
Thank you. Thank
Great
you very
win.
much.
4A district title. Fantastic. Selinsgrove. I don't think anybody in the state expected the beat down your Bulldogs was going to put on them. Why don't you just fill us in a little on going into the game, your thoughts, and then the way the game played out?
Well, I think our guys and our coaches, we were planning on winning, out of no disrespect to Selinsgrove, but we've played them a bunch, 8 times now in 4 years, 4 straight years in the championship.
4 state district titles between you and the Seals. That's amazing in itself.
I think so. We have a lot of respect for Selinsgrove and what they do, and Coach Hicks, and what some of the previous staffs have done. But we really like our guys. We have a good coaching staff here. We believe we had a good game plan going in, and our guys are really excited about the opportunity to play a championship game here at Thompson Street Stadium. That was our goal, throughout the summer, to get a playoff game won, to host a playoff game. We're always shooting for the opportunity maybe to have a home championship game, being the highest ranked seeded team left in District 4. So to be the first team in Jersey Shore school history to win this very first Quad A championship. We won 3A a couple years ago. To win the Quad A championship, that meant a lot to our guys and our staff and our town. To do it in front of our home folks, was really special. Ranks up there with anything we've done, but we're going to tell our guys here tonight that hopefully they're not satisfied. We want to still win, against Johnstown at Williamsport on Saturday.
Absolutely, and Thompson Street Stadium in the background here. Great things have happened over there since you've got the head coach job and brought your staff in, and really turned the fortunes. We always knew the ball players were up here, but I got to tip my hat to you and what's happened with Bulldog football in 4 straight district championship games. I mean, unprecedented in school history. And then we jumped to 4A. It's still you and Selinsgrove. And the 31-6, the final outcome, just a fantastic tribute not only to your kids but to your coaches in preparation. Because once you played somebody as many times as you, that's basically what it comes down to, right?
Right, thanks. We appreciate all that, but for a while there it was a little closer than the score would show. We hit a hot streak there. In the second half, you know what I mean? And
let's talk about how you did celebrate a district title up here. I don't want to hold you up, but I know you were going to Sunset Ice Cream a little bit earlier here.
We were. Usually we get Sunset Ice Cream for a shutout. We haven't had any shutouts this year. The defense did shut some people out, but the team didn't. But, we got 6 gallons of ice cream down here to celebrate a little bit, watch a little film of our game and Johnstown. And, we'll be putting in the game plan and expressing the game plan to the guys a little bit, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. The key players for Johnstown, they have some dandies, one going to West Virginia on a full scholarship, a couple others being looked at West Virginia and some others. So we have a great opponent, and it should be an outstanding game Saturday.
At Williamsport High School, 1 p.m. start. Has to feel good to not a home game but a District 4 game. And Johnstown's got to get on the bus pretty early to be up here for that. So that doesn't upset you either, does it?
No, we have to control what we can control, and that's, Jersey Shore. Make sure we bring our A game, down to Williamsport on Saturday afternoon. And I'm sure we're going to have a tremendous crowd. But as we tell our guys all the time, we have a tremendous following each and every week. But our fans won't be doing any running or tackling. It'll have to be you guys, the ones that score the points.
And we hear from your fans all the time. I wish we could live stream your ball games too, but the fees that District 2 and District 4 put on it, now we're into the state tournament. We're trying to figure out how to get around that next year. So, hey, everybody talks about your offense. Coach Jackson, I've known him for a long time, and he's one heck of a defensive coordinator. Why don't we talk a little bit about the guys on the defensive side of the ball and who's really stood out this season for you?
Well, it's been our entire defense. We like to pride ourselves on playing a team aspect. It all starts with the guys up front. We want to keep the ball inside our our defensive ends.
Sure.
And then on the edge with our cornerbacks, we want to make sure that the ball doesn't get outside. We leverage the football. And with the secondary, we want to make sure that nobody gets behind us. And our defensive line, we have a host of guys that play in there. We want to make sure that we're playing our technique. We play a 50 defense. Not too many people play a 50 defense. We play a version of a 90 defense. We're in and out of both of those defenses, but our guys understand what we want as a staff.
Absolutely.
Coach Jackson, everybody in our staff coaches a defensive position and an offensive position. We coach it hard. We spend a lot of time with it. We try to work on tackling as much as we can. And our tackling was much more improved against Selinsgrove this time around. When they get the 5-yard catch, we limit the play to 5 or 8 yards at the max. The previous game, they got more yards after catch in game 1.
And Selinsgrove obviously is an athletic team. And Jersey Shore, our area up here, is more of a blue-collar, let's-go-to-work area. And I agree with you. Your players on the defensive side of the ball, there wasn't much room for them, whether they caught the ball or whether it was just straight-up run game. I mean, you guys really just shut them down.
We did a pretty good job. We contained them. Our goal going in was we didn't want to give up the big play.
Right.
Limit all plays over 15 yards. To eliminate all plays, one-play touchdowns over 15 yards. We did a good job with that. Keep the ball in front, force a turnover here and there, and we were able to do that. So Dominic Williams, with I think it might be his 3rd touchdown interception return, kind of sealed the deal for us.
Absolutely. Offense, everybody talks about Mr. Shimori chucking it around, and he's had a great season in the top of the state and ranked in passers. But you have a host of receivers, and somebody seems to step up every game. Do you want to talk about your receiving core a little bit?
Yeah, they've been outstanding. It started this year with Todd.
He
had 56 catches going into that, injury point of the season. He did come back and add on to that total. But we have a whole host of them, from Kevin Titus to France to Jason Dencher to Austin Breon.
Absolutely.
And we had Kobe Peacock, who played a lot of great minutes for us this year, as we did with Tyler Smith at tight end. We have a whole host of guys that can play receiver, and many of those guys are coming back this year for next season. But our running backs, Jarrett Guthrie did an outstanding job in this game on Friday and the previous week. But he was out for a couple weeks, and Kyle Tome took that role at tailback and did a fine job.
Absolutely.
I think all the credit really should go to our offensive line, because whether we want to pass a little more in this game, run a little more in this game, a little combination of both, they adjusted the game plan we put out there for them. And we like the fact that we got a few more of these guys coming back in the future, and we're excited about our chances on Saturday.
I am too. I really like your odds against. I really think good things are going to happen against Johnstown, and I like the fact you're up at Williamsport High School. But hey, one thing I want to. Webb Weekly, we name a Player of the Week every week, and for your efforts, for your totally shut down on the Seals, your team, and the effort they made in your coaching staff, you guys are the Webb Weekly Players of the Week. And I'm going to buy you a lot of pizza right here. And we got some players here that are happy about that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
My good friends down at Santino's, they have enough pizza to feed the team. So
we appreciate that.
And hopefully we power you to a playoff win. So
thanks. Thanks for
coming down. Here we go from Jersey Shore. Go Bulldogs!
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Hampton from Lycoming Physical Medicine. At Lycoming Physical Medicine, we're working with a medical breakthrough that's recognized around the world, amniotic stem cell therapy. It's a safe, effective way to treat joint pain.
Before you have that invasive surgery, reach out to Dr. Richard Husky and my team and let us help you with that pain and discomfort. There's been over 50,000 documented amniotic stem cell therapy injections, and there's never been an adverse reaction with a single one of them.
And we're here on the natural grass of Rodney K. Morgan Stadium in South Williamsport. Hey, Coach Eisworth, great job.
Hey, thank you so much.
Great season, and you win your way to travel down to Southern Columbia. But let's not talk about that first of all. Let's talk about this past Friday night and up at Wellsboro. What a gritty, gutty performance the injury bug bit. But tell us a little bit about the trip up to Wellsboro and bringing back a.
Well, I tell you, we were up there a couple years ago, and the kids, played a great dynamic game, and we came out on top, and ended up playing Southern in the district final, and that kind of got us rolling.
Absolutely.
We had something to come back and build on. Now, a couple years removed from that, here we go again, round 2 against Wellsboro. And I'm going to tell you, they had a tremendous football team. Big, fast, physical. They had a quarterback that reminded me of Datris.
And what they've done, I got to jump in, what they've done up in the northern tier. They don't play northern tier football, and that isn't meant to be an insult towards them. They play a different brand of football.
Yeah, they spread you out to run the ball. So
Absolutely.
they're in empty, they're in 3x1 sets, 2x2 sets, and they had good running backs, great size, very physical. So it really came down to the last 3 seconds of the game, and the kids just put a tremendous gutty performance in with a bunch of adversity thrown in.
So let's talk about the last call of the game. You know what? You take us through it.
This is the interesting thing. As you know, with our eye, we always look for keeps and we look for boots.
Absolutely.
Okay. And AJ, who's not a young sophomore anymore.
No.
He's the kind of guy now that he's getting very, very good at identifying different things. And, he's coming over now to the sideline to get plays, and he's like, Coach, we can do this, and Coach, we can do that. So I'm very pleased with his development and his maturity. But, we called a timeout, and, it was down to, 20 seconds or so, and we basically called 2 plays, and they were both plays to Gideon.
Right.
And, we figured, hey, from the 1 foot line.
And everybody in the stadium figured the beast is getting the ball.
Yes, they did. And he had come in off the bench. So we ran. Right. We ran, a lead play, and he was just, inches from it. And the clock's winding down, and, we went to run it again. And, he went, faked it to him. Didn't give it to him, went around the edge, and, all on him. Just a tremendous decision. And
so it was his call?
Oh, yeah.
He kept it on the bootleg?
Yes, just a tremendous decision. Everybody blocked, everybody sucked in, and, we got our stalks, and he dove in,
Fantastic.
5 yards deep. So I can't say enough about,
Fantastic.
The total team effort and how, with pressure like that, to make a decision that really catapulted us into the win.
You and I know he's not a young man. He's developed this season, and that's something that a Kyle Datris would have done, or a Hankins up at Williamsport.
Mm-hmm.
And what a season of growth for AJ.
Oh, just incredible. He's closing in on throwing for 1,000 yards, and we don't throw the ball 10 times a game. So he's averaging big chunks at a time. Aaron Goreski's 25 yards a catch, Finney's 25 yards a catch, and. So, but just overall, I'm in awe of these guys, in total awe.
It's been my pleasure to watch your development, too. And you and I were talking off camera that I made a trip up here early in the season, and I walked across your practice field, and I came over, and you and I talked about it a little bit. And we knew sort of that you did well against Danville, but we sort of knew also that you didn't have the numbers out here that other schools have.
Yeah.
And you were, and where you've come from that, I'm thinking about where and how you've taken it to the bigger schools number-wise.
Yeah, it's really satisfying because, truthfully, honestly, we have 30 kids here today. And, our number's about 154, 158. That's what it is.
Yep.
I can't alter that number. That number, they make the count, they turn it in, what it is we are, and we ended up being, 5, 10 kids above single A.
Yep.
So we're basically the smallest school in the area competing at the AA level. And, you go from there. I'm combing the town here to get the best athletes from South Williamsport.
And you've done a great job doing that.
And we take great pride in that.
And you and I grew up over here. We know the talent's always over here. It's just a matter of finding them, getting them out, and develop them. And you've done a great job in your tenure as coach doing that. Let's talk about Southern Columbia. I guess we should.
Yeah.
Coach Roth, always tip my hat to the program he's built and what he runs down there.
Mm-hmm.
Every championship, no matter if you're in single A, double A, it always seems to go through Southern. It's not only a district title, a first-round state playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And I should be standing here thinking, boy, you guys are in trouble, and for some reason I don't have that feeling. I don't have that feeling at all.
I mean,
and I know you're banged up.
Yeah. I mean, and we are. I mean, we have 2-3 guys that are questionable for Friday. When you go through and play, I mean, we opened up with Mount Carmel. We know how physical they are. We go up to Wellsboro, who's, I think they were giving up 3 points a game.
Yep.
So it's been physical all through the season. But, I mean, truthfully, we really embrace this week. We love it. I mean, this is going to be our 4th district final in 5 years, and we won one of them at the A level. So, there's more to this than...
And again, 4th district final in 5 years. Get this man, if anybody's listening to me in South Williamsport, get this gentleman a teaching job within the school district. Allow him what he does so he doesn't have to sorry for the commercial break. So he doesn't have to drive down and back to Troy, up and back every day.
Yeah, every day,
And it's just amazing what you've done for them.
I
can't... And your staff. I mean, I know all your assistant coaches.
We have an awesome staff. I talk about them all the time to everyone I can because they're just incredible people and have incredible coaches. But I'm very fortunate.
Have you been here 5 years?
6. This is my sixth.
Holy cow!
Year.
Where's time gone?
Yeah, time
That's
flies.
amazing in itself.
Yeah, these guys were just some of these guys were youngsters. I mean, I can remember Winter is my daughter's a freshman. And Winter was in her 4th grade. I went into one of the field trips. We went up to Penn State, and I sat and I talked to Winter, and who's now a linebacker starting as a freshman.
How's your most important assistant coach?
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. All my assistant coaches are most important.
I'm talking about your wife.
Well, she's number one. There's no doubt about it. But she looks after everybody.
Absolutely. And her football knowledge and what she did, she truly embraces you in the program.
Yeah.
I got to tip my hat.
Her family, my family, our family. I mean, it's just an every week football just fiasco. And she's dropped food off today. I mean, we try to eat on Mondays and watch film and try to make it a family atmosphere. And the things she does for all of us, it's just mind-boggling because there's weeks I'm a bear, and she kind of tries to keep me in line, and she sure works at it.
Well, good luck to you down at Southern.
Thank you so much.
And we'll take a little commercial break here. We'll get a couple of your players back in here to finish it up. And thanks.
Yep,
we'll
thank you.
We're back at South Williamsport, and I got Ben Johnson, Ashton Martin, and AJ Flick. Great win, boys.
Thanks, Jim.
Ben, I'm going to start with you. The improvement and where you've come from is amazing. And I'm sure I know the answer to this, but tell me about your season and what it's meant to you playing with these guys.
Well, I think it's been a great season so far, and starting off, we really didn't get recognized much of anything. We worked really hard and had some huge wins that pretty much no one expected, and after getting those wins we got some credit that I think we finally deserved. And
absolutely,
basically everything just comes from hard work and getting chemistry with our teammates.
And probably the most fun you've ever had playing athletics has been this season for Coach Eworth with your Mountie brothers.
Oh yeah, by far. These kids are definitely my brothers for life, and it's just amazing.
Well, it's been fun watching. Ashton Martin, I got to tell you, let's start with this. The big fella, Gideon, goes down a little gimpy, right?
Yeah.
You know you're going to get more carries. You know you're going to be the man. Mm-hmm. Tell me about how that felt.
Well, when I saw Gideon go down, I just had to pick it up a notch. I wasn't ready for my season to be over yet, so I just told myself I need to do this for the seniors because I knew I decided to do it.
And you definitely did, and you played great. Any one play that put a signature for you on that game at Wellsboro?
I don't know if not a play that I made, but I think for AJ.
And that's a perfect lead-in. And I appreciate you're one of the most unselfish ball players, and it's always about team and always about seniors, and that means something. And you lead me right to QB Flick, who has stones the size of, well, we better let that go, but I thought Coach Eisworth called that play, and he just informed us that it was you as QB Flick calling the bootleg with the game on the line, and it was the right call. Tell me about what was going through your mind.
Well, we knew with Gideon in there, even as how hurt he was going to draw a lot of attention, so they were all keen on him, so I kind of took it around the outside, and it worked out, I guess.
And it was absolutely the right call, and coaches with a lot more experience than you have would have never had the nerve to pull that off, and I tip my cap to you. What did you think when you crossed the goal line and were in the end zone?
It was just kind of relieving.
Best feeling ever?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't get to cross the goal line, I kind of would have felt bad for everyone. It would have been pretty bad. So.
Well, I understand that
Yeah.
too. What would Coach Eisworth said? And there's the rest of our Mounties coming over. So, great job, boys. Keep it going. Anyway, we got to wrap it up here. We got to head down to Muncy, but Southern Columbia. I'm proud of where you boys have come from, where you're at right now, and I got a calm feeling about you guys going to Southern that you're going to represent well. Just give me a quick hit on going to Southern. District Crown, first round of states, what that means.
Well, I think we're just going to work our butts off this week and try to make a statement down there.
Like the whole season, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Ashton?
We need to go in that game with the chip on our shoulder, and if we come in with the chip on our shoulder, the outcome would be ours.
Absolutely. AJ?
Both of these guys are right. I mean, we've proved people wrong the whole season, so I don't see why we can't do it this week.
Well, great job, boys, and keep on playing on. And we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to head down the road here a piece.
Over 30 years, one family of dealerships has grown to include 14 brands at 8 locations on an unyielding commitment to hometown values, an unrivaled service, selection, and customer satisfaction for 30 years. Fairfield, for fair deals. You're gonna love us.
And we're at Stanley T. Schuyler Stadium in Muncy, Pennsylvania, home of the Muncy Indians. And any time that the snowflake ornaments are lit up in the town of Muncy and you're still playing football, it's a good thing, Coach.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely nice to be still playing, and it's great to bring a state playoff game here to Muncy.
Coach Sean Tetro, thank you for what you've done in Muncy, and congratulations on your district single A crown.
Thank you.
And we have Malik Wortman, also linebacker, senior.
Yes, sir.
Went over 200 tackles for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You like to hit things, son.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's fantastic. But let's start with you, Coach. Tough road. We stood down here, and I knew you could do it. And you and I talked, and you made 2 trips to the Northern Tier, finished up avenging an earlier season loss at Sayre. Tell me about the game this past Friday night.
Yeah, it was great to go into Sayre. We play the Northern Tier as it is, so we're used to those long road trips, but it was nice to get up there and get a win, and we were waiting for that game all year. After that overtime loss, we circled that date in the calendar. We knew we were going to meet them again. It was just a matter of when and where.
Absolutely. And Sayre, good ball team. Well, let's tip them.
Definitely. Sayre's a great ball team. They had a heck of a season up there, and they should be proud of it. They set their new school record for wins and won playoff games, and they were definitely a great team.
Absolutely. Malik, tell me about the game. Tell me about Friday night going in, the excitement, and then afterwards huddling up like the folks are over there as a team and talking about your season continuing.
Oh, man. Going into the game on Friday, it was all about getting back what we lost 7 weeks beforehand. That loss was real tough in overtime, 23-22. Going into the game, there was an intensity. You could smell it in the air. My dad and I say you can go into a game and you can smell in the air if it's a win or a loss, and both of us said it's a win tonight. Sure, there were some plays that set us back a little bit, but that wasn't nothing for the whole game.
Absolutely.
The whole game finished up for the win for us. Getting into the locker room, everyone's screaming and hollering, we won, we won. So, I mean, that's a big thing for us, 30 years.
Absolutely.
30 years.
John, Muncy Indians! Great job, boys. Absolutely great job.
I love you, Malik.
Anyways, obviously we're catching you at the end of practice here, but you're a senior, and obviously you're down to, hopefully there's more games left, but you never know when it comes to an end, and I don't want you to think about that.
No.
But District 4 champion.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Feels good.
Now we're heading into state tournament, and I'll ask you first, Steelton High Spire.
Yeah.
Make a little trip, go play Steelton High, who has a great program history. Tell me about that.
I mean, don't really know much about the team, but going into a game like that, if you don't really know much about the team, all you know is you got to go up and have fun.
Absolutely. Just go do what you do, right?
Yes, sir.
Coach, tell me about Steel High and the matchup down at, I can't think of.
We're at Susquehanna Township.
Which is a great football facility, another great tradition, but.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I went to college down in the Hershey area. I have a couple of my buddies coach down in Palmyra in the Hershey area, so I know a little bit about Steel High. I play with a couple of players from Steel High. They have a great tradition, and we're excited. We saw a little bit on tape. They have some big boys, but it's nothing we're not used to, and we can't wait to go up there and show them some District 4 football.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you guys will represent well, and it's bonus football from this point.
Oh, yeah.
District champions, congratulations, and of course we're going to find some pizza for your team and for you guys too, like we do, and I like to do. So, hey, again, I said it before, for small schools everywhere, keep it rolling and keep District 4 pride, right?
Yep, that's right. We're going to go down there and show District 3 what District 4 is all about.
How about it? Anything you want to add?
No, I mean, this has been a great time, great year.
Here's all I tell Hunter. Just hit something, son. All right? Hey, for Muncy, we're going to keep on moving on. We'll take a short commercial break and be right back.
You've known the name for more than 50 years. Alvarado Construction, offering extensive design and build services all over Pennsylvania. John Alvarado, now you're doing even more residential.
We've partnered with Scholes Design, a residential architectural firm, offering designs out of their catalog. Also have the ability to do a custom design in-house for a client.
And a remodel, like the Kiss FM home makeover, a huge success.
That was a great project. Gave them a new kitchen in about 3 days.
Alvarado Construction for residential and commercial builds. Well, there was no doubt in my mind, district champs. I picked him over Danville, second time around. Bryce Rank, of course, Mitchell Rothrock, J.C. Kiefer. Guys, first of all, congratulations. Bryce, you're the guy that has been tormenting these quarterbacks, and you were in the backfield a lot in that game the other night. You've got, 9-10 sacks on the year. You guys, as a team, sacking a lot of guys. You like it when Scoob says, go get that quarterback, right?
Yep, yeah.
What has been the most fun for you on the defensive side this year, harassing people down there?
Definitely rushing the QB. It's so much more fun, so much easier. You just get a free will and just go.
You get the feeling that when your coaches are telling you, let's go after that team, let's play defensive, let's play offensive, defensive football, aggressive defensive football. That seems to be when you guys get the ball back for the offense.
Yeah, we're doing really well with that. Later in the year, we started doing very well with it.
What these guys do a good job of, and especially at defensive end, and even Mitchell has been stepping up at defensive end. We preach so much. There's so much technique involved in that. So many people think that it is just pin your ears back and go.
Yeah.
But there's so much technique involved. You can't let the quarterback outside. If the tackle blocks down, you have to take on the block. We want to wrong arm the pulling guard. So these guys have gotten better and better and better, and particularly Bryce here at that technique. I mean, when Coach Myers does say go get the quarterback, you see his light bulb go off and he goes after him. But there's so much more involved there. It looks easy, but there's so much more involved inside, and Bryce does a heck of a job at it.
And of course, Mitchell Rothrock, both sides of the ball, making things happen. We just talked off the air. Seems like every time you catch one, you're in for a touchdown. It was 11 now, 20-plus catches in the air, and a big one the other night, 50-plus yards in that Danville game. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I love getting the ball in my hands and being able to make a play and get the opportunity to put the ball in the end zone.
Somebody said Mitchell Rothrock is a matchup headache for guys in that secondary, a linebacker trying to play you, because not only you have size, you've got speed, and you blow by a lot of these guys. Then you've got a guy like Messina that can throw those ropes right there.
Oh yeah, I mean it's really hard for the linebackers and the safeties with my speed being able to cover me, having to do other things to try and take me out of the game. I don't know, it's just one more thing the defense has to worry about.
Bryce, what is it about the Warriors postseason? You guys seem to have this renewed confidence. You had that tough loss to Loyal Sock, you put it behind you. You had so many tough games week in and week out, and you come to the playoff time, you're playing your best ball, and you win going away pretty easily against a Danville team that some people were picking against you.
Yeah, Danville was tough. They had some tough kids. They were good, and we just wanted it. We wanted it bad, and so we went out and played well, and now in playoffs we're just doing very well.
JC, you've got to be proud of these guys, because there is something about Montoursville football. You've set a bar that followed in the blue and gold tradition, that postseason time you guys made runs, you've been doing it again, and now you play at Valley West against Scranton Prep, team that has a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, no question. And to back up a little bit, you made a great point. You know, our schedule throughout the year has been difficult, but these seniors, and I have a great group of seniors. Here's just a couple of them. When we lost to Loyalsock that night, I saw I've seen something different about them since then. I mean, practices have been upbeat, having fun, physical. And it's the seniors that are leading that. And
nobody was hanging their head.
No, it wasn't a time, and we took a lot of positives, and we talked about that, a lot of positives from that game. But ever since then, I've just seen a different hop in their step. I mean, our defense has been totally different since that game. You know, and it's just been a neat transformation, and just to see some leadership and some kids step up, you know, including these two here, and it's just been fun to be a part of, and we just don't want it to end.
What was it about maybe some of the little changes and switching some people around defensively that helped shore some of those things up, that gave you renewed energy on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to find some different pieces to the puzzle, you know, defensive line-wise, you know, moving some guys around, linebacker-wise, moving some guys around. But I just think it's a matter of playing together, communicating, recognizing, you know, Nolan was hurt for a stretch, and he's like our quarterback on defense. He does a nice job of getting guys in the right position. People don't understand, when one guy gets hurt, you know, we were without Brian Schaefer there for a few weeks. Right. You move somebody, and then somebody else has to move. One guy getting hurt can affect more than just one position. So I think really now we're healthy. We have guys in the right spot, you know, with a combination of an attitude, you know, that we're bringing now defensively, I think has been the change.
What has it been for you, Bryce? You're playing football for Montoursville. Now people are seeing number 68 making plays in your senior year. You don't want this to end, do you?
No, not at all. We just want to win some state playoff games, maybe have some fun out there, and just do well.
Maybe make a run. Mitchell, I know you guys have been part of these things in the past. Make it a run. You remember last year, the amazing performance, one of the greatest games, maybe the greatest I've ever done, falling just shy of that team that went on to win the state title. What were they called? Oh, that's right. They were the Tigers, Southern Columbia. You remember that. You remember how well you guys play. What's it like for you as you get down to these postseason games your senior year?
Well, this is nothing new for us. I mean, this was my third time playing in a district championship game, and we took it this time. This is my second time, so this isn't our first time playing in a state game. So this time we're just hoping to make some noise and maybe come out with the chip.
That experience has helped you guys in the past, and that's got to be a key.
It is, and Mitchell makes a great point, because the last time we were here, you know, we went through Southern Columbia, we beat Loyalsock in a district championship, and it was like that was the pinnacle.
That's right.
So we went and played Wyomissing, and it was just like, we're playing with house money. There's a different attitude right now. We want to win a state playoff game. We were happy about winning the district championship Friday night, but it was business as usual today. That's behind us. Let's go out and give Scranton Prep, who is a very talented, athletic football team. Their linemen are just as athletic as their skilled guys. So it's obviously going to be a big challenge and a big step for us. But I can feel a difference even in the 2 years, from 2 years ago till now, in the mentality and the expectation of this football team is to go win another football game. You know, and we'll play 1 week at a time when you want to say let's make some noise. But you know, we're not playing with house money. We're still playing with our money. We want to win. So, you know, it's fun to be a part of. We'll see what happens.
And it sounds to me, the way you're talking, the way these guys are playing right now, you're not going to surprise anybody around here if the Warriors moved to round 2.
Yeah, you know, and we don't really care. We don't look into who's picking us or what people think or whatever. They play football, you know, miles away from us. It's neat playing somebody different. I will tell you that.
That's right.
That's fun, and you know, watching some film and scouting them and just seeing some different players. That's fun. But you know, they're still high school kids just like these guys are, and they're well coached. They're a good team, but we're a pretty good football team too, so we'll see what happens.
Guys, good luck. Let's get one more and keep that dream alive.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Did you hear that? It sounds like great new deals at Cups, your vacuum center. We offer new and used vacuums from all of the best brands, including Kirby, Shark, Dyson, Electrolux, Auric, Hoover, and many more. Got an old vacuum that needs repair? Trust that our service repair technician will get it working like new again. For bags, belts, filters, repairs, and sales, trust Cups Vacuum Center located at 1001 Washington Boulevard in Williamsport.
And again, we're back. Touchdowns and tailgates. Gary Chrisman along with the Sun Gazette's own Chris Massie, the man that follows football and basketball more than anybody and knows more about these teams. Of course, Chris does a great job in that high school section with all the little synopsis of every team and every game. You do a lot of research. You spent a lot of time.
It is a lot of time.
Does your wife occasionally get upset with you, Chris? That
I think she likes the fact that I'm not there.
Oh, in other words,
she's all for this job and all for these hours.
So bottom line is, you're not there. You're off writing. She's at the mall spending the money.
That could be right. Her and my daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
They like to spend daddy's money.
Chris, this has been fun. I know for you, you become fans of these teams and fans of all the teams you cover. Okay, here we go. We had 5 teams. Everybody wins. That's one of those great moments. I know as you root on these teams and follow them during the year and you see them have this kind of success.
I think it's probably the best night in area history for football when you consider 4 teams on the same night winning district championships, and all in this area. I mean, Jersey Shore, Muncy, Williamsport, Montoursville, and the South winning.
Yeah, the way they
won.
won
Was an epic district semifinal to get to a final. That's going to be tough to beat for future
It's
future
tough
nights.
for me. I'm used to doing these great games, picking a game of the week. Of course, the millionaires are flying high, and people are watching like crazy. But I want to do all these games. I know you want to cover them all too.
Yeah.
All right, now we're here at Montoursville. You kind of slipped in quietly because you
want to be noticed.
You picked Danville, but I picked Montoursville the other night with the idea that somehow these guys, what is it about Montoursville? They rise to the occasion in the postseason.
They just find, it's a team, it's a program that every year gets better as the season goes on. It's a tribute to the players, but the coaches as well. J.C. Kiefer, I think, is one of the best coaches in the state, and his coaching staff, I think, is second to none. They know the game so well, but I think J.C. does a great job getting these kids to believe. I can tell you from interviewing him after, whether it was baseball a few years ago or football, I want to go play for him. He gets me fired up to play for him, so I can only imagine what it's like for these players on a daily basis. So there's great coaching, and it was a young team coming into the season. They lost a lot of starters from last year, but you're just seeing that progression throughout the season. They're getting better and better, and they play that tough schedule too, and I think that prepares them well for the postseason, and you're seeing that all come to fruition now.
I know. I was here for touchdowns and tailgates very early. It was back in September, standing there watching practice, and I was so impressed on working on pass routes and plays that you knew they were going to pull this shot to Rothrock, and he's a matchup headache for teams, isn't he?
Big time. Yeah, I think a lot of people think about Tommy Shea and you get worried about him on the outside. Maybe you start rolling over and trying to double him. Mitchell Rothrock, every time he touches the ball, is a threat to go the whole way. He's got 25, 26 catches and 11 of them are for touchdowns, and he's averaging, I think, around 23 yards per catch. So
that's right.
I think he's the X factor in that passing game. He makes it so hard to just focus on Tommy Shea or Riley Conboy.
And Shea, of course, right now, I think today we looked at it, he's 3rd or 4th in Pennsylvania in yards, 1,200 plus yards, putting up big numbers for the Montoursville Warriors. All right, Chris, let's talk about this week's games, your predictions. I know they're going to be coming out in the Sun Gazette where you are beating up on those other guys, right? I mean, Briganti and those guys. You've got about a 90% one-loss deal, don't you?
It's somewhere around there. Jake Felix, who used to work for us, was the only guy who could compete with me, and once he left,
do these guys
it's pretty much a monopoly for me?
Do they do any homework in these games, or they're off covering wrestling and stuff? Do they not have a clue?
I don't want to say they don't have a clue, but they're playing against. You're going against the Tom Brady of picking games.
So the bottom line is
for them to compete with that.
You live and breathe this high school football stuff as you will in basketball. All right, let's talk about the games, matchups. Montoursville, Scranton Prep. A lot of athleticism, a good football team playing at Valley West Friday night. How do the Warriors match up? Who does Chris Massie pick?
Well, I picked against them last week, so maybe it's a good sign for Montoursville. But I think Scranton Prep is going to win. I like their defense a lot. They're only allowed
JC was hoping you'd say
yards a
that.
game.
He loves it when you pick against.
Absolutely, I think all the coaches do because it gives them bulletin board material. As if they're not motivated enough, it gives them that extra incentive to prove me wrong. And
okay,
I'm going with Scranton Prep in a close game.
Okay, all right. Now Muncy Indians, ironically, and it just doesn't. For old Millionaire fans, Steele High, Steelton was one of the great rivals in the Central Penn Conference in the 50s and the 60s and all those years. Steele High's always been a smaller school that played up.
Yeah.
They're playing the Muncy Indians. It's a funny matchup, but it's an Indian team that's 6-6. They're playing their best ball right now.
Yeah.
Can they give Steele High at Susquehanna Township a game on Friday night?
Yeah. I think they can. I mean, Steele High's 4-7. They're better than their record indicates. They do. They play a really tough schedule. Their quarterback, they have a really good quarterback who missed most of the season. He came back for the district final. But I like the way Muncy's playing. I like their physicality. So I think it's an interesting matchup. You got Steele High with a lot of speed and athleticism. Muncy, a physical team that likes to pound the ball. We'll see who wins that battle, speed versus power. It's tough to bet against Steele High with their pedigree, as many big games as they've played in over the years. But I think Muncy will keep it interesting.
What is it about Tom Gravish and Jersey Shore and that great coaching staff? Boy, did they come to play the other night. I think a lot of people thinking Selinsgrove was the team. Libby leads the state in yardage.
Yep.
However, the other night they shut him down. Elijah Shamori is the real deal, and he's only a junior. Let's talk about Shore at Williamsport, 1 o'clock Saturday, STA Stadium against Johnstown, another unlikely team that played on the big level years ago and now playing against Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Well, I think Jersey Shore, I thought that was the biggest upset of the night.
Oh, yeah.
I
agree.
Especially with Selinsgrove winning by 20 the first time they played. But Tom Gravish and his staff, it's the same thing I said about J.C. Kiefer. Gravish is a great coach, surrounded by a great staff. Alex Jackson, the defense coordinator, I think is one of the best coordinators around. And this was a team that I thought was a year away because they're loaded with underclassmen, and they've just gotten better and better each week. They were 3-3, now they're 9-3. I love the way that they're playing right now on both sides of the ball. I think that's going to be I like their chances against Johnstown.
You're picking Shore.
I guess it's against me. Usually I pick the other teams, but I'll go with Jersey Shore in a close game.
Okay, Jersey Shore at STA Stadium. All right, let's go. The South Williamsport has to play against Southern Columbia. They've got Gideon Green and Goriski banged up, and we talked to Chris Eisworth. Doesn't know yet what kind of shape they're going to be in as you're watching this show. All right, what does Chris Massie think? Jim Roth has a machine down there. That's awfully tough after that emotional win over Wellsboro.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a tough game, even if you're 100% healthy.
Yeah, you're right.
And with Gideon Green banged up, Aaron Goriski banged up, I mean, those guys are so valuable in all facets of the game. I mean, I thought they were going to have their hands full anyway. I just can't see them. I can't see anyone beating Southern Columbia right now. They're just, like you said, they're a machine. Their offense is unbelievable. They got 2 1,000-yard rushers, a freshman receiver who's off the charts.
And you saw what they did to Montoursville here, 42-21, I think the final was, against a really good Montoursville team.
And so South is a great team. They've had an awesome season, but I just think they're overmatched in this one, as just about everybody in the district is against Southern Columbia.
Okay, let's talk Williamsport Millionaires before we wrap it up. 6A, first round at Selinsgrove against Little Lions of State College. We talked to their coach today, and Matt Lintel, he's a guy that has been there his third year. His dad was the head coach there. They're balanced, they're big, they're athletic. They've been ranked 4th in the state. Only loss was to number 3 Central Dauphin.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough matchup against a program that's a perennial winner. That's always in the mix here. Playing into late November and early December.
Millionaires aren't getting respect around the state ranking-wise because people forgot about them the last 15 years. Had this been the 80s or 90s, Williamsport guaranteed would be a top 10 team. Now, Max Preps has them at 20. But maybe it's good to be under the radar coming in and with all that athleticism.
You're right in I got a column in Thursday about the lack of respect they're getting, and Williamsport's got that chip on their shoulder because like you said, I think everybody around here in District 2 knows how good they are, how explosive they are. Statewide, another story. I think they've been slow to burn, because I think a lot of these state rankings, it's not about what you are now, it's about what you've done in the past.
Sure.
And not a lot of people were from, because they hadn't had a lot of winning seasons.
This is a team, Chris, that last week was 9th in the nation in total offense.
Yeah.
To give you an idea what Williamsport's doing. Okay, let's talk this week. Can they beat the Little Lions at Selinsgrove?
Yeah, I mean, their offense is so good, but what impressed me against Delaware Valley was the defense. I think that's, if there's been a weak link for Williamsport this year, it's been the defense. And I thought from the second quarter on against Delaware Valley, they were lights out. And if they continue to play like that, Williamsport's going to be pretty tough to beat. I think they win a close game. And this is a perfect matchup for them in the terms of, you want that statewide respect. What better way to try to go out and get it than against a team that's been ranked over the last decade, that's accomplished so much. I like the matchup for Williamsport.
A friend of mine saw them play against Harrisburg. Even though they won that game, they said speed bothered them against Harrisburg in a game a couple of weeks ago at State College. So we'll wait and see. And it's a game we are going to be doing live here at WebbWeeklyLive.com. Yeah, we're going to do it again this coming Friday night, 6:50 with our pregame show. It should be fun. Chris, I thank you, and we'll look for your matchups and predictions and a whole lot more as we take a look at the capsule of all the games coming up this week. Should be fun, and we hope to catch you later in the postseason.
I hope so. Let's keep doing this for a few more weeks.
Absolutely. For Chris Massie from the Sun Gazette, Jim Webb, and Webb Weekly, this is WebbWeeklyLive.com, touchdowns and tailgates. I'm Gary Chrisman. We'll see you Friday night.
First down, so it brings up second and short. Cavanaugh up the middle, nice trap play. Cavanaugh is going to kick it to the outside, has a lot of running room, still on his feet. He's at the 30, and he's just got some speed. And boom, that's the Park Pizza touchdown. Flank to the right. Got the reverse. Williams hits it to the outside. He's got a lot of room. He's to the 40, 30, to the 20. One man to beat. Is he going to get him? And he's in. Kick. Walker's going to field it on the fly at the 30-yard line. Makes a clear sky miss. Going to set up the wall. Here he goes. Gets to the outside. And he's got a couple of them already knocking a guy around. How would you like to try to get around him? I think Walker's going to walk in.